Welcome to Global Insiders Podcast. I am Ryan, the Peripatetic One, bringing you information about opportunities relating to jobs, traveling, and any information that can elevate you to your rightful place in this thing called life. You can find more information and how-to methods on globalinsidersgroup.com. That is insiders with an S. And here is today's show. Hello Insiders, last week I had Silvia on the show and we spoke a little about how to move to Australia. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, please go and take a listen to it. You might find it very informative. Silvia was very jovial and we had a great time chatting. For the next two shows, I want to focus on how to migrate to Australia. I will make this a two-part series. This week, I will talk about the school visa, and in next week's episode, I will discuss job opportunities in Australia. Most of this information is from the Australian government. Therefore, you can do your own research at the following website, affairs.gov.au. That is affairs.gov.au. Please do your due diligence as usual. Now, let's dive in. Why move to Australia? Well, moving to Australia.com lists several reasons, but I will focus on a few of these. Number one, to study. There are great opportunities for studying in Australia. According to movingtoaustralia.com, Australia has an impressive number of study options for international students, with more than 1,200 institutions and 22,000 courses to choose from. Australia has the third highest number of international students in the world, behind the UK and US. Secondly, job opportunities. Australians pride themselves on perfecting a work-life balance. With a strong economy and a low unemployment rate, this makes Australia the ideal place to go for jobs. So definitely you can try to see if the job that your skill that you are good at is if they're looking for workers for that particular area. So I would definitely look into that. If those two did not attract you, you can consider the lifestyle. Australia has the reputation for being a laid-back and friendly country, and their crime rate is considered to be low compared to other countries of the same. Australia has a reputation for being a laid-back and friendly country, and their crime rate is considered to be low compared to other first world countries. You can choose a laid-back life in the country or the busy cosmopolitan areas. Regardless of where you choose to stay, you will enjoy a high quality of life in Australia. The Australian government encourages new residents to learn as much as they can about the country. So you should try to learn about the heritage of Australia, the language, the customs, the values, and the way of life. And this is what the government is encouraging you to do. So definitely if you decide that you want to move to Australia, these are things that you should consider to get a leg up on the competition, so to speak. Once there, the possibilities will be endless. Becoming an Australian citizen, for example, is possible. The Australian government encourages permanent Australian residents to apply for Australian citizenship when they become eligible. Australian permanent residents may be eligible for a number of services within Australia, including access to National Health Scheme and the Social Security. So these are benefits that you can get if you decide to move to Australia. You can also bring your family members to Australia if you decide to go. So if you are an Australian citizen or permanent resident with family overseas, your family may be able to apply for family visa option. Visa options for family members include partner category visa options, child and adoption visa options, relative visa options, parent visa options, children born to permanent residents of Australia option, and children born in Australia to a permanent resident parent will automatically acquire citizenship. So there are several ways to move or to migrate to Australia. If you speak English, moving to Australia will be much easier for you, as the government encourages persons to learn the language. The easiest way to move to Australia is to study. You will need a study visa, but before you apply for a student's visa, you must have been accepted to study full-time at an educational institution in Australia. Organize appropriate welfare arrangements for the duration of your intended stay in Australia if you are under 18 years of age. I will definitely speak more about this further down in the show. Enrollment. You must be enrolled in a course of study that is registered on the Commonwealth Register of Institutions and Courses for Overseas Students. In short, CRICOS. Please note that there are some exceptions. So once again, you should go to the government website to do your own due diligence. If you are applying from outside Australia, you must include a confirmation of enrollment, otherwise known as a COE, for each intended course of study with your visa application. However, you will be given exception if you fall in one of the following categories: sponsored by the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, sponsored by the Australian Department of Defence, if you are a secondary exchange student, and if you are a postgraduate research student required to remain in Australia for the marking of your thesis. If you get the visa, you must also be able to prove that you are a genuine temporary entrant. So you're not moving there to stay. You must prove that you're just going there to study and then leave after. The officer assessing the visa will consider your circumstances. You must show that you have a genuine intention to stay in Australia temporarily. But even though you are an English speaker, you might need to provide evidence of your English language skills with your visa application. If you are required to provide evidence of your English language skills with your application and you do not do so, your visa could be refused. So that is very serious. So you have to read your friends regarding if you are able to speak English or not, or your level of English. So you must provide them with that information if they do ask for it. Financial capacity requirements. You need to have enough money that is genuinely available to you to pay for your courses and travel and living costs for you and your accompanying family members while you are in Australia. You might need to provide evidence of your financial capacity with your visa application. Your visa could be refused without request for further information if you fail to do this. Evidence of financial capacity. If you need to provide evidence of financial capacity to demonstrate this you should be able to demonstrate this by providing one of the following: evidence of funds to cover travel to Australia and 12 months living and school money. Show evidence that you meet the annual income requirement. There are also health requirements and you must meet these. You might need to undergo health examinations as part of the visa application process. The health assessment process can take several weeks to complete. To help avoid delays, you can choose to undertake your health examination before sending your visa application. Health insurance. You must have adequate health insurance while in Australia. Students can show this by obtaining overseas student health cover, which provides medical and hospital insurance. Character requirements. Everyone who wants to enter Australia must be of good character. You must answer some character-related questions on your visa application form, and the information you provide will be used to assess your character. You should check affairs.gov.au for more information. How long does a student visa last? This visa allows you to stay in Australia for the duration of your studies, generally up to 5 years. It usually costs about 575 Australian dollars, according to the government website. Several convenient things about this visa. 1. You can apply for it when you are in or outside of Australia. I think that is very convenient because let's say you go there as a visitor or something and you realize that you want to become a student. Apparently you can do an application form there, but of course please check this out for yourself. Family members can also join you. You and your family members can make a combined application, or they can apply to join you later, provided you declare them in your student visa application, or they became a family member after you got your student visa. For example, if you have a child. Okay, so newborns would fall under that category there. You must have funds to support yourself and all accompanying family members already in Australia, as well as those included in the current application. If you have kids, they can also study in Australia. So you can go to study and then you might be missing your kids, or your family situation, you want to keep it tight, you take the kids with you. So students can apply for a student visa to study at primary or secondary school in Australia, regardless of their country of citizenship. So the students can do it, or the parents can help the students to do it. The student visa even gets better. While studying in Australia, you can also work. Yes, you can work and cover some of your bills, some of your costs. However, there are rules to be followed. You cannot work until you have started your course in Australia. Once your course has started, you are permitted to work a maximum of 40 hours per fortnight when your course is in session, and unlimited hours when your course is out of session. So maybe if you get like holiday breaks, for example, the summer break, it's a bit long, so you don't have to be there wondering how to get money. You can work and get some money. Student visa holders and their dependents may take part in volunteer work outside of the 40 hours per fortnight work limitation. If you are a postgrad research student, you can work a maximum of 40 hours per fortnight during any preliminary courses you undertake. If you have started your master's by research or doctoral degree in Australia, there is no limit on the number of hours you may work. That is fantastic, I think. Family members do not have to stay at home and idle. They can also work. However, they cannot start working until the primary visa holder has commenced their course in Australia. Even though you will be on a student visa, you will have workplace rights which fall under Australian law. You can check calculate.fairwork.gov.au. That is calculate.fairwork.gov.au for more information on this. Finally, you must file taxes in Australia, so you definitely need a tax file number. You will get this from the Australian Tax Office. All this and more information are available on homeaffairs.gov.au. So that is homeaffairs.gov.au. So please check it to do your due diligence. Good luck and all the best with moving to Australia. Thanks for listening today. I hope you are inspired. You can find more helpful and motivational material at globalinsidersgroup.com. That is, insiders with an S. You can also keep in touch at Global Insiders on Instagram. See you next time, but remember, you can be your own superhero. Bye.